Hey everyone, so today in this video I will be talking you through how to transfer your data from Archer to Archer2. Before we start, I wanted to mention that you can find all of the information that I'll be going over in this video in the Archer2 documentation, which you can find at docs.archer2.ac.uk. Once you go into that webpage, you should end up on this page. And if you look at the tab to the left, you'll notice that there is an Archer to Archer2 migration part. If you click on that and click on migrating data from Archer to Archer2, you will find the instructions for how we recommend you transfer your data from your Archer account to your Archer2 account. I will be going through these instructions exactly during this video, so if you have any questions or don't understand parts of these videos, I'd recommend checking here. Before we start, you'll need to make sure that you've got both an Archer and an Archer2 account. And you'll need to also check that you are able to SSH into both of those accounts. So for instance, my Archer2 account is jsint@login.archer2.ac.uk. For those of you who are new to Archer2, one quirk of Archer2 versus Archer is that Archer2 will ask for your password and then your SSH key. So here it's asking for my password, and now my SSH key. And now I've logged in to Archer2. As you can see, this is my Archer2 account, and I can ls, and this is my home directory. Working directory is my home directory. The other thing is you need an Archer account for the obvious reason that you're trying to transfer data from your Archer account to your Archer2 account. My Archer account is jsint2 at login.archer.ac.uk. And now it's asking for my password. And there I've logged in. You'll notice it didn't ask for my SSH key when logging into Archer. That's because I'm sharing a similar key between for my Archer and my Archer2 account from this laptop. If you have different keys, you will be prompted before your password to enter your SSH key details. And now I am in Archer. Once you've logged into Archer, and as you can see, I've logged into Archer as jsint2, my username. I'm in Archer. This is present working directory. I'm in home. Once you've logged into Archer, you can go to the place where the files you're wanting to transfer exist. So in this case, probably /work /y14 jsint. So here I'm in my work directory, and you'll notice there is a number of different files, of which, let's go into Lamps Workshop. Let's suppose that I want to transfer the entire of day one material and in.lj. So how do I go about doing this? Well, so the first step is I would need to create a tar file with this data in. To do this, we will be using tar. We want to compress a verbose version and the F flag as well. The name of the tar file that we want everything to be packed into is, let's say, Archer1 data transfer.tar.gz, and then I can list all of that I want to transfer into that, so day one materials and in.lj. And then everything will be packed into the tar file, and if I ls, there is now a new file called archer1 _data _transfer.tar.gz, and that is the file that I will be transferring. Now that I have my tar file, I will need to transfer. I will want to transfer this tar file from Archer to Archer2. To do this, we will need the OpenSSH module, which you can get by running module load OpenSSH. Here we go. I've now got, if I module list, I now have OpenSSH available. As you can see, OpenSSH version 8.4.1. Next is the actual transfer part. To help data migration from Archer to Archer2, we've done two things. The first one is we have enabled single factor authentication between Archer and Archer2. You will only need an SSH key or a password when transferring data from Archer to Archer2. And the second thing we've done is we've set up a specific path from Archer to Archer2, which should have much higher bandwidth. I can't remember the exact numbers, but from memory, it's something like it should be 4 times as quick as the usual path that you can use for transferring data off of Archer. I can never really remember the transfer protocol, so I will check this on the data migration webpage that I mentioned before. And basically, I will be showing you how to transfer using rsync, because we strongly recommend that you use rsync, because with rsync you are able to set up flags such that if for whatever reason your transfer job stops halfway through, you'll be able to restart it from wherever it stopped. So what we'll be using is rsync. So the -p flag here allows the partial transfer that I mentioned before. The -e flag here will allow us to use some specifications of the SSH command in order to reduce the amount of encryption when we're transferring. Now, this is not something you should do usually. However, because here we are transferring things internally from within the same building, it is safe to transfer with slightly lower encryption, which means that it will happen faster. Hence, we recommend you do this. So I will just copy and paste this. There we go. The next parts, so now that I've got my rsync -pv -e with the SSH command using AES128 -GCM at openssh.com. Now that I've done this, I now need to say what I want to sync. And the thing that I want to rsync across is my archer1 _data_transfer.tar.gz. Faster transfer method is, instead of transferring directly to login.archer2.ac.uk, we will transfer via the transfer.din or transfer.dynamic link .archer2.ac.uk. And then I need to specify the path. So let's go for /work /z19/z19/jsynth. Then press enter. It'll ask me whether I'm okay with transferring via this method. I am, and now it's asking for my password. I will enter my password, and there you go. The transfer has already happened. If I open up a new window and SSH into Archer2 and go into /work /z19/z19/jsynth and ls archer1 transfer, there we have the file on Archer2. And indeed, you can see here it is, along with all of my other tested, transfer tests that I've been doing. Cool. So that is the method that we recommend you use for transferring data. It is also possible to use this method to copy data across using SCP. However, there are certain disadvantages to using SCP. I'll show you here in case that's really what you want to do, but we strongly recommend that for any large amount of data to be transferred, you use rsync, because it has that partial transfer capability whereby if your job fails halfway through, you're able to restart it from the point it failed rather than having to restart from scratch, which SCP doesn't have. But if you're interested to run SCP, again, it's very similar. You run SCP -c to specify again that we want the slightly lower encryption factor in order to have a higher transfer speed, AES128 -GCM at openssh.com. Then the file you want to transfer, which is, I will remember one day, archer1 _data_transfer, and then the path that you want to transfer to. So in this case, jsynth at transfer.din.archer2.ac.uk. And this time, let's move it to home instead of work, which, I mean, I can't just use tilde. Note that your home space is likely to be less than your workspace. So again, don't transfer to home unless it's a small amount of data. But in this case, this is a small amount of data. Again, it's asking for my password. And there we go, it's transferred. And again, if I open up a new window and SSH there we go. In my home directory, present working directory /home/z19/z19/jsynth, we have a ARCHER1 data transfer file that's just been transferred over. And that's how to transfer data from Archer to Archer2. I hope that you found this video useful. Again, if you have any things that you're unsure of, please check out the Archer2 documentation website that I mentioned at the start of the video. And if you're still having problems transferring data across or are unsure about anything that's happening, please feel free to contact us at the Archer2 service desk, which would be support@archer2.ac.uk.